Hello everyone and welcome to our live stream. Today I'll be doing some website reviews. If you want to check out which website I'll be reviewing, the websites are in the description box. So just check them out. I've listed them there. So if you want to follow along step by step, you can just take a look there. Right, the other thing also I want to talk about is we'll be live streaming every Saturday, but next Saturday I'm going to be off. So what we may do is to set the live stream dates on a day during the week, or we'll just see what happens. I'll keep you all notified. And also, if you check your emails, please do make sure that you check your emails, because this is where I send all the notifications. You may have noticed that this week we're not using Crowdcast. That's because I've been having some issues with it. So I'm trying to rectify that, and so hopefully next week or the next live stream we'll be back on Crowdcast. Okay, so before we begin, if you can hear me loud and clear, please let me know in the comments box below before we continue. Okay, so I can see here quite a few of you have already tuned in. We have Al-Haji, Monique, good to see you. Also hear that loud and clear, fantastic. We also have 510 Darth, I think, from India. Good to see you. Perfect video and sound. Awesome, awesome. Also have a viewer here, but the name looks like it's in Russian. I can't read it, so sorry about that. But anyway, good to see you. No, good to see you too. We also have Rahman joining us as well. Excellent, fantastic. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go through these websites that I've just listed here in the comments box. And we also have Matthias, I think, saying hi there. Good to see you. Awesome, awesome. Ukraine. Oh, it's Ukrainian. Okay, sorry about that. I just thought it was Russian. It was a wild guess. Right, okay. Excellent, excellent. All right, so let's dive in. We don't want to waste a lot of time here. Yes, I do know Ukraine, actually. My cousin actually studied in Ukraine. So, yes, I do know about that country. And I think the boxers are also from that country as well. The Klitschko brothers. Ijmal from Malaysia, good to see you too. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Right, guys, can you do me a favor? Can you share this live stream as well? We're trying to get as many people as we can on this live stream. And so we can get off to a... Oh yeah, Lomachenko as well. I do know him as well. Very good boxer. Right, I know this is going to becoming a boxing live stream, but hey, you know what? Let's get started now. Okay, so the first website I'll be taking a look at here was submitted by Tony, and the website is called The Code Nerds. Right, so I'm just going to switch over here to The Code Nerds. So this is the website. So first of all, when I take a look at this website, I would say on first glance, it's really a nice design. The only thing that stands out here when I look at this is this image right here. So you can see it's quite pixelated. Otherwise, this would have worked really, really, really well. But the fact that it's pixelated here, it just takes away that that good design. But otherwise, the layout is very good. I like the use of this font here, because this font here also goes with the logo. So that's great consistency there. I really like that. The colors as well, they seem to work really well. So I really like that. So the only thing I'd like to say here is on this hero image, the width of the row is a bit too much. So I would actually reduce that a little bit and bring it down to about maybe 1200, because I normally use 1200 pixels as my width for my content, unless I'm doing something or some section on the actual website. But this needs to be brought a little bit in, because on large monitors like this, you can see it's really going really wide and it's way too much. Now, scrolling down here, I really like the use of this section divider. I think this is really, really cool. And hopefully this is consistent throughout the website. Okay, so moving on to the next section. Here, the only thing I can say is this text right here. I know there's an underline there, trying to emphasize what you're providing, but you've also added a drop shadow on this text here. To be honest, that's really unnecessary. Just leave the text as it is. As you can see here, this text will build websites that help you generate. It really looks nice, so there's no need for a drop shadow here. And by the way, guys, if you have any comments as I'm going through this, if there's something you disagree with or something you want to add to this, please also add it in the comments box. I'll keep an eye on it, and I'll also be mentioning all your comments. Okay, so let's continue with this. So over here, I like the use of white space here, but when you take a look at this area here, it looks like we're missing something. Right? Looks like we're missing something here. So I would perhaps maybe have some sort of an image or an icon just to show what this area is about, because now it looks like there's so much text here. Okay? Everything else here I'll say is fine. I'll perhaps maybe make this text a bit thicker, but to be honest, I'm just being picky now. Right, so moving on. I like this fast, reliable. I mean, this separates, this section separates the other sections, which is really nice. I really like that, and I also like the call to action here. And moving on, now this testimonial section here, testimonials look great when you have images in them. So instead of having those quote marks, it's much better to have images in there of the actual person. It makes it look even more authentic and more believable. So that's what I would do here on the testimonial section. Okay, so moving on. What you can expect. I like this. I like the use of this animation here where you're highlighting convert visitors. I think this is really well done. And it's also happening here as well. And these icons, they're uniform. I like the colors. I like the way you've flipped it. So here it's on the left, and then over here it's on the right. I think that's really great. And down here as well, I like the use of the icons and what you've done here on the bottom on the social media. The only thing is, I don't think these social media icons work. Yes, they don't. So you want to make sure that these social media icons work as well. So, okay, or perhaps maybe this is emphasizing social media advertising. Sorry about that. So in that case, this is fine. Okay, so moving on here, we have AdWords. So this is a list of all your services. I like the way you've done it here. It's very clean. It looks really, really nice. Okay, so ready to grow your business, call now. Okay, I like the way these call to actions are also appearing as we go through the page. Okay, and also here. Now, what you've done here is you've moved away from your main font that you've been using as your headings. So this is the font that needs to be right here, okay? So it's important that when you choose your font for your headings, it needs to be consistent as you're going through your page design. So the only difference needs to be the size of the actual font, but you shouldn't change the font altogether because now you're introducing another font which we didn't have initially. So this is why it's important to make sure you keep this font. You can change the font weight, that would work, but the font has to be the same. So that's the rule of thumb, the rule of thumb when you use headings, okay? Just choose a font and then just use the different font weights. Okay, so moving on here. The footer also looks quite nice. I really like that. Yeah, so overall, I think this page is nice. It's really well designed. It just needs a few tweaks, but other than that, I think this is a great design. Okay, I'm just going to take a quick look here and see if we have any comments. Right. Shano, I reviewed your website last time. We reviewed sites. Monique, you're saying why? So I'm not sure what you, Monique, what you're saying. Why to? I'm not sure. Can you just please let me know what you're referring to there as on the why part of it. Okay. We also have Andy just joining us. Good morning, Andy. And we also have Adam. Adam, good to see you. Okay, on the white space. Okay, let me go back on the white space. You know, it's great when this is interactive because I get to go back and explain myself and also highlight things that I may have missed. Okay, so I'm just pulling up the website now. Right. Okay, so here on the website, okay, I did say there was something missing. So if I come over here, if we look at the way the grid is set up, in fact, the grid here is actually wrong because this text here should be taking perhaps maybe 3 of these columns. And then over here, this is the area that I'm saying it looks like there's nothing, okay? So ideally, you want to have something here, some sort of an image or just to fill in that space because this is following a grid. In fact, let me see if I can recreate this and just show you exactly what I mean. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to my website. So let's see if I can bring it up quickly here so I can do a quick demo. And also, this is great for laying out your website. Okay, so I'm just going to drag my site here into frame. Okay, so let's say we create a page here. Let's click on Add New. Right, so let's just call this test. So designing with a grid system is very, very important because it enhances your layout and it also brings structure to your page. So let me show you what I mean by using the grid system. Okay, so over here, I'm going to just go to build from scratch. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with 4, okay, 4 columns like that. So let's say in these 4 columns, we add, let's say, blurbs. So let's add our blurb here. Okay, let's just make it look a bit nice. Let's add an icon. And we can choose any icon here, but I'm just going to go with any. And I'm just going to make some quick changes here. This is not a real tutorial, so forgive me if I'm going really fast. I just want to create something that I can use as an example. Okay, text, we want to center this. And then let's make this body text bold. Okay, semi-bold will do. Okay, so that's my first blurb. So I'm just going to duplicate these and just add them into position. Okay, so that's my first section. So what I'm also going to do here is I'm just going to change the sizing. I mean the sizing here, make it slightly bigger. So on the custom width, and this is what I was mentioning in the beginning. So when it comes to the custom width, I normally use 1200 or 1280. So don't make it go way too wide. So you'll see what I mean here when I switch over here. Okay, so over here, if you use 1280, or if you want to use percentage, you can just use 80%. That works really fine. Or even bring it down to about 70% as well, if that's a bit too much for you. Okay, so I'm just going to leave mine at 80%. Right. Okay, so now that's my first information here on my site. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to add another row, but this time I'm going to change the column structure and I'm going to add 2. Okay, so now I'm going to go in and just delete these and just show you what I mean. So over here now, if you want to add some content, let's add some text there. And then over here, let's delete that. Right, so if you take a look at this, it doesn't look right because it's missing something over here. Let me just add some padding so you can see what I mean. Okay, right, so we've got some padding now. Yeah, so when you take a look at this, this area here needs to have something because it looks like information is missing on that part. In fact, let me add some more text in here. Okay, and let's save the page as well, and then I'll show you what it looks like when you structure your columns right. Okay, so I'm going to exit the Visual Builder. Now, take a look at this page. You'll notice that although everything here it looks fine on the bottom here, on the top, this area here has doesn't have anything. So this is where you want to balance your layout. So this content here, this paragraph here is in line with these two items on the bottom, and then over here we have nothing on the top. So again, something that I may also do to really illustrate what I'm trying to say is to perhaps maybe add some background colors to this. But in fact, let me just add something here so you can see what I mean. So here I'm going to add an image, and then you're going to see how it balances the layout. So the image I'm going to use here is, let's go with this one here. Okay, great. So over here, let's add a title. So ideally, this is how you would design your page. So that's my title right there. I'm going to make it heading 1. And then we're just going to make heading 1 nice and bold. Okay, so we're going to change this to ultra bold. Great. Okay, so now when we take a look at our page, we can see, in fact, let me exit the Visual Builder. Okay, great. Okay, so when we take a look at our page now, this image here, this main image that I've just created corresponds with these two blurbs on the bottom here. And this second half, because these two are equal. Now here over here, it also corresponds with the two here. So this is what I mean by it didn't look right. So I hope this explains it. And this is what you want to do when you design your layout. Make sure that you're using the grid system, because the grid system makes sure that you lay out your pages and it makes it look very symmetrical. It looks like everything is, falls in place. So even if we change this to 8 columns, again, you should use those columns which corresponds with what it is on your page. I hope that's clear. If not, please drop me some comments so I can explain further what I'm trying to say here. Okay, so Monique here says, okay, I see it now. Not bad. Okay, fantastic, great. Is the stream okay? I was going to say, is the stream still working? Because I thought I saw myself paused for a minute there. Okay, so if you have any questions regarding the grid or how you're supposed to lay out your page, please let me know in the comments box, and then we can expand on this. Okay, so let's go back to our website. So as you can see now, based on the description that I've just made, this is what needs to be changed here, because I can see just from visually looking at this, this is a 1/3, 2/3. So you want to use things that are working well in columns. All right, so let's move on to the next pages. So I'm going to click here on price, and on this pricing page, wow, there's a lot to say here. First of all, what you've done here, in my opinion, does not work really well, because this is now covering your design, and also you have the same hero image here for your pricing page. Ideally, you want to have a pricing table. I'm not sure if this is a mistake or something is going wrong with your website, but this doesn't look right. This needs to be a pricing page with pricing information, and it looks like this is just the home page. And all you've done on this page is to add this get your free pricing instantly. This needs to be completely changed. It doesn't really work, to be honest. This needs to be its own page with pricing tables and all that information. Okay, so moving on, let's go to, I think this is the portfolio, web work. Yeah, again, this page, oh, okay, it was still loading. Right, so on the projects here, this looks quite nice. I like this actually. Okay, so I think this is okay. Now, the only thing is, I mean, from just looking at these thumbnails, these websites look like they are, like really, really well designed. They really stand out. I really like the way they look. So let's see what happens when you launch the site. Well, the good thing is it's opening in a new tab, which is great. Okay, now it looks like these are themes or templates. So again, if these are, I may be wrong on this, but if these are templates, it's not a good idea to add templates to your portfolio page, because when people go to your portfolio page, they're expecting to see work that you've done for other companies. So this may also come across as a negative. So that's the one thing that I would say. Put stuff in the portfolio that you've actually designed. That comes across way more professional. All right, so I'm going to move on to the next page here, the About page. Here on the About page, I think I would go even more into detail here and add more information about the company. Now, if you don't have a lot of text to add on there, what I would actually do is perhaps maybe creating a video. If you go back to the few episodes that we did, the live shows, I also showed you how to create a video without being on camera. You can use that technique to create a video that introduces people to your company. So that's what I would do on this page. It looks quite plain. I know you have the members or the founders of the business here on this page, but you need more information, because when you build your website and you're selling a service, you want to make it as convincing as possible. So this is what you want to do on this page. The About Us has to be full of projects, even like if you've been on, let's say, to a client's place and they allow you to film it there. You want to have those snippets of work, or even you in your studio working. In fact, I'll give you a very good example. There's a studio here, a web design studio here in Birmingham, UK, where I am, where they have a live video. So on their website, when you go to it, it's streaming live every day, 24/7. And I thought that was really cool, because it shows the studio and it shows everyone working, collaborating, and doing all that stuff. So when people go to that website, they can actually see what to expect and how the team works together and all of that. So I think that's really powerful. I mean, I wouldn't really do that myself, just in case I forget the camera is on. All right, so investor pages. Let's have a look here. Okay, that's going to a different page. So let's ignore that. Okay, contact. Okay, this is fine, but I would rather have this form up here on the top, because this We Build WordPress websites, this is something that needs to be highlighted on your homepage, not on the contact page. So I would really have a form, because when people go to the contact page, all they want to do is to add information to contact the company. Okay? Right, so moving on, let's take a look at the blog, and this is a very important page. And taking a look here, you have some spacing issues here. You might need to add some margins or padding here on the top, because some of the content here is cut off. So you may want to fix that. Other than that, I think on the sidebar here as well, I think there's more work that needs to be done here, because things don't look like really polished. So I would work on the sidebar as well. And let's take a look here at a single post and see how it looks. So again, I would do some work here on the blog. Try and design the blog, make it look different, make it look very attractive, and also have your call to actions in the actual blog as well. And redesign that page, and don't just use the default layout that Divi brings in. There's so many ways that you can design your blog page templates. In fact, you can build it from scratch. There's a video that I think I've done. It's on my YouTube channel, where I create a blog page, create a template, and then use that template over and over again. So you can actually design this page, make it look like your normal pages, and use that over and over again. It's highly advisable that you do that, because right now it just looks like your default layout that comes in with Divi. Okay, so pretty much that's all I have to have. That's all I can say on this layout. Now, before I move on to the next one, I just want to make sure here that I haven't missed any comments. Adam says, what's the best way to display portfolio on your website? Yeah, I mean, with in terms of displaying the portfolio, I would actually do it from scratch. Or if you want, you could use the portfolio module. In fact, let me see if I can quickly show you what that looks like. So I'm going to come back over here to my test site. Let's enable the builder here. Okay, so right, so here's a portfolio module. So if you choose that, you can actually go in here and add all your content. So I'm not going to do that now because I'm sure there's some of you waiting for the other reviews. But this is where you would use this portfolio module to create your portfolios. Okay. Right, so I can see there's more that have tuned in here. We have Daryl Wilson. Awesome, Daryl, good to see you. Right, excellent. All right, so let's move on. Let's talk about the next video here. I mean, the next website. We have 510 Duff here saying, you both taught me WordPress development. Thanks a lot. A lot more to learn. Yeah, awesome. I'm sure you're referring to me and Daryl there. Yes, Daryl also has an awesome YouTube channel, by the way. And there's also a website called WP Friends. This is like a social networking website for WordPress users. So WP Friends, go ahead, check it out. It's really cool because you can get to discuss and talk about topics with other WordPress users. All right, so that's a quick plug for you there, Daryl. Right, let's move on to the next website here. So our next website here was submitted by, let's have a look. I've lost the name now. Right, anyway, it's in the comments box. Right, so taking a look here at our next website, by first glance, I think this looks nice. It's very clean, very structured. The only thing I would say here is with these images here, perhaps maybe add a rectangle around it to just break this up a little bit. But other than that, the images here, they're quite nice. So what I mean here is, you see what you've done here by adding a border. You could add a very light gray border around these images here, and I think that would make them stand out even more. So now let's go in and let's take a look at one of these products. Wow, that's really nice. I like that. Okay, beautiful, beautiful. Now, what I've noticed here is this image here looks like really sharp and high res. And even as I go through these, they look really, 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 really sharp, really well made. So what I don't understand here is, why is it on the home page, the images don't look as sharp? So even if I click here, if you notice here on these icons, they don't look really sharp. So what you may want to do here is to go in and check your settings, your image settings, and make sure that you're not using the thumbnail. Because if you use a thumbnail in your image setting, the quality may not look really sharp. So you want to make sure that you're using medium or even full image. So that will make this look even much better. So just making that tweak will make your website definitely much better. So I'll definitely go in and take a look at that. Okay, so I guess these are different categories here. Unfortunately, I can't read the language here. I'm not sure what language this is. Perhaps you can help me in the comments box. Right, again, I like the way these chairs, the way the images were taken. There isn't any distracting things here in the background, so that's really cool. Now, this shelf here, I guess this cabinet, I guess this should be maybe over here to the right, and maybe have all these three chairs together, because right now it looks like you've broken the pattern by just adding this bang there in the middle. Okay, you see, like what you've done here on the bottom, this is exactly what I mean. So if you have the odd item there, add it over here to the right rather than between the chairs. So this looks much better now. Even here on the bottom, this looks better as well. Okay, so I can see here some of your images are not high res. What you may want to do is to make sure that you're using high res images, especially when you have e-commerce stores. You want to make sure you're using high res images because people buy and make quick decisions based on the presentation of the actual product. So if you come to a page where the images are not very sharp and beautiful, usually people make a decision based on what they're seeing right there and then. So I would actually go in and take a look at all these images and make sure they're all high res. But other than that, the layout is fine. You know, it's a very clean shop. I really like the way you've designed it. Okay, so let's take a look here at some of these links. Okay, yeah, that looks really nice. As I mentioned, I think what would make this really, really stand out is just adding a very light gray border around these images. I mean, once you do that, this is going to help make these products really, really stand out. And what you may also want to do is the buttons here. You can actually use a complementing color for the buttons. So it looks like you only have one main color here. So I would actually use a complementing color to that and to make it really stand out. The logo here, I forgot to mention the logo. The logo is beautiful, by the way. I like the simplicity, but it's not the high-res version of the logo. So you may want to go in and make sure you upload a high-res logo up there. That will just, you know, those little tweaks go a very long way. They're going to make your website look even more professional. Okay. Right. So moving on here, we have our next page here. Excellent. I like the way you've laid these images out. This is beautiful. I like this. This is really, really nice. The only thing I have to say here is the images are not all high res. So if all these images were high res, this would really, really be even more awesome. But the way you've laid out that page, I like the simplicity. It's very easy on the eye. It's very easy to navigate. I really, really like the way you've done it here. The only thing is you just need to be consistent with your images. Make sure you're using high-res images for all your products. Okay, and then finally here, let's take a look at the contact page. And again here, this form, I like the way you've designed this form this way because normally people just use the default way of, the form comes into the page. So I like the way you've done here. You've changed it all around. That's great. And I also like the map here. I don't know, I'm just debating maybe this form could be up there because it looks like it's hidden. Unless you scroll, that's where you start seeing it. So I may play around with a layout where you have the form over here on the top, and then this information here, the address, email, and phone number could be on the right, but the form on the left. And then this map could be on the bottom. So that's what that's what you may want to do there, just to make it easier for people to find the form. And over here on the bottom, again, this MG logo, again, it's pixelated. Make sure you're using the right high-res logo on your website. But other than that, I really like the layout itself. There's just a few touch-ups that needs to be done. And by the way, remember these little things, they go a very long way. They actually make, massive changes, even though they are very little changes. So that's all I have to say for this website. I'm just going to take a quick look here and see if we have, okay, I've got a comment here. It says it's Spanish. Okay. Right, so the website is in Spanish. Let's take a look here. Right, so let's move on to the next website. And any comments, any questions regarding this website? And by the way, the website was submitted by Pablo. Any questions? Any questions so far? Okay, so it looks like we don't have any questions. Okay, so moving on. Our next website was submitted by Roland. Right. So first of all, just looking at the logo here, Indigo Art. Roland, this website needs a lot of work. A lot of work. I mean, it looks like. I mean, oh, in fact, let me go to the homepage. Yes, so that's the homepage. So this website definitely needs a lot of work because if it's an art website, you need to have high-res images. People want to see the art, the description of the art itself. I mean, there's a lot that needs to be done here because it looks like it's just a plain, basic website. I'm not saying this to be harsh, but I'm just giving you constructive criticism here because as an art, I mean, I love art myself. So the main thing that I would like to see when I come to a website that deals with art is, to reflect, what the website is about and reflect what the website content is. And here is where you want to really add your content. And I can see here you have a picture here of this flower. Again, that image right there is very low res. I mean, the quality it's not high quality. It's not a high quality image. So I would really revamp this whole website. I can't really say much here, to be honest, but you can go in and really make this website look beautiful. All you need to do is to just find good images from your gallery or take pictures, of whatever images you want to showcase on your website. And this website should be, I would say, 80% images and 20% descriptions. Okay, so that's what you want to do on this website. People want to see the art. People want to see what this website is about. So that's the main focus that you need to focus on your website. Okay. So as I go through these tabs, as you can see here, the logos, again, the logos are very pixelated. They need to be high-res logos. There's a lot of content here, by the way. As I'm going through this, I can see there's quite a lot of content. I like the navigation though, but again, the way the navigation is made, it's too small. Everything is like on the extreme left. This website needs to be centered. And just looking at this, I'm not even sure if this is using a page builder, because for these type of websites and layouts and stuff like that, you want to use a page builder. And as I mentioned, I highly recommend that you use Divi. It's very easy to use. And if you haven't bought Divi yet, and this is also to everyone out there on the live stream, if you buy Divi using my affiliate link, which I'll add in a minute in the comments box below, I'll give you a full course which teaches you step by step how to use Divi. Okay, so that just gives you a great jump start to learning how to design websites with the new page builder. Okay, so back over here. So yeah, all these tabs here have logos, but all these logos, they're very pixelated, they're low res. And I'm just going through the top here as well. There isn't much on the website. The text here is way too small as well. You want to make sure that the text is nice and big, easy to read. So that's important on the website, especially now with these devices like iPads and mobile phones. You want to make sure that your website looks great on these mobile devices. And right now, if it looks small on my desktop, definitely it's going to be worse on a smartphone. Okay, so moving on. These images here, as I mentioned, yes, these are, they are very low res, very low res. And by the way, who knows what language this is? I mean, I know I've hit translate, but I think you can tell from the navigation there. It'll be quite interesting to hear from the comments what language is this, what language this is. Okay, so over here. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, if I continue talking about the website here, I'm just going to continue talking about the same thing over and over again, which is we need high-res images. If you're not using a page builder, you want to use a page builder to really lay out all your content on your website. Right, so any comments, anything you want to say about the website before we move on to the next one? Okay, Monique said Swedish. Okay, that's interesting. Wow. Uh-oh, it looks like my website is buffering. I mean, my stream is buffering now. Not sure what that's about now. Let's have a look. Okay, if it's buffering for you as well, can you just refresh the page? Okay, so everyone says it's now fine. Yeah, if it's buffering, just do a quick refresh and that should fix the problem. Hopefully, hopefully. Right, so moving on. Let's move on to our next website. And the next website here was submitted by Tedious, I think. That's how you pronounce it, Tedious. Right, so let's take a look at the website here. So this is the website. Right, so taking a look at this website here, it has a lot going on. And I'm not sure the animation here of the snow really adds any value to the website at the moment. But I can understand if this was used, perhaps maybe at the time of the year, like or the season, that could be really cool. But on a website like this, I would mainly focus on the actual products. So I would really focus on the products themselves and less the animations. Now, as I take a look at this here, I mean, first of all, the borders, the borders with the drop shadow, I would actually remove that and just use a normal border around these areas here. And over here, I would simplify this image here and perhaps maybe have 1 or 2 items on there and just have a short description of the actual item that we have on that particular product. So when you have all these products all there in one place, it just looks a bit chaotic. I mean, because there's no focus on the actual product. So what product is being promoted here? It's not very clear. So this is where we want to really make sure that we highlight a specific product, have a slight description for it. That works really well. In fact, let me see if I can give you a quick example here. So if we take a look at a website like, let's see, what website has products? Let's try Beats headphones. And there's so many websites. I'm just choosing this quickly here. Right. So if we take a look here, you can see the main sort of image here is the actual product, and it's that specific product. So let me just switch over here so you can see what I'm looking at. Okay, so that's the main product. I know this is more of an animation, but it's mainly focusing on one product. So let me choose another one. Any suggestions there in the comments box? Any suggestions of any products that I can bring up here, which are well made? So this is Beats. I can't think of anything else. Let's see. So I'm just gonna go on the to the usual, Apple. And sometimes it's always good to go to these websites for inspiration as well. So again, if we take a look here at the Apple website, you can see here the main focus here is the actual product with a short description. So this is what you may want to do here on your website. Just choose a specific product that you want to highlight over here, and then once you highlight it, this makes it easier for people to choose what product it is they want to select. Also the product needs to be something that you're promoting. So if that's the main thing that you're promoting, it's very easy for people to see or to click on that particular item, because right now it just looks like there's a lot there. Now, let's say you want to showcase that your online shop has a lot of product. Well, which is what I think you're trying to do here on the hero image. So what you may want to do is to create a video, right? Maybe with a voiceover, which has all the products in the actual video. So this could be maybe a 30-second or a 90-second video, which has your products with a voiceover. So that would work much better than what you're trying to do here visually. So because the video, you can add quite a lot of products in there, as a slideshow. And then maybe even add some music to it or even a voiceover. So that would work really, really well. Because what you're trying to do here, it just makes the home screen look very cluttered, and there isn't any focus on the actual product. Okay, so let's take a look here. Corporate gifts. So this page is taking quite long to open, actually. I think might be having internet problems here. Okay, the stream seems to be going on okay, but I can see Andy here saying just managed to get connection back. Does that mean that the stream was offline? Was the stream offline at some point? Please let me know in the comments box. Okay, so I can see Monique saying it's okay now. It wasn't that long. Okay, great. Carmen says late as usual. Anyway, no problem. I mean, I know right now we are 45 minutes in, but you can always watch the replay here on YouTube. All right, so that's what I have to say about these products. Now, again, when I mouse over here, this looks really nice. I can see this divi was used here. So you see this border that we have, this light gray border that we have on hover. I would actually have that light gray border by default before we actually go into the hover mode. Okay, so that makes your layout look much, much better. As you can see here, things look like they're cut off, but if you put them around this border, they look much, much better. Okay. So let's see, event souvenirs. So I guess these are just categories of the products. So the page layout is going to be the same. Okay, so let's go into an actual product here and take a look at the actual images, because that's something that I'd like to look at. So when I take a look here, I can see the images here. They're not bad, but they could be better. They're not really high res. And as I mentioned before, these images here need to be really high res because it helps people make decisions when they want to buy these products. So just make sure that your products are high res. But other than that, this is basically an e-commerce shop. So the main things that you want to take note here when you have an e-commerce website is to make sure that all your products are high res. The layout is clean, and also if you want to showcase quite a lot of information on your homepage, you want to make sure that you add a video that helps that product, or those products really pop out. Okay, so pretty much these are the websites that I have for review today. So next week, as I mentioned, I won't be available. My son will be competing in a gymnastics tournament. It's a massive tournament, so we're going to be away for the whole weekend. However, I will have some work done before I go. And in terms of the live stream, what we may do is when I'm back after next week, we could have it during the week just to make it up for the Saturday live stream. So we'll just see how we work it out. So please make sure you keep an eye on your emails. Please don't ignore your emails, because that's the only way I can communicate with you. And hopefully next week or the next live stream, we will have Crowdcast back on, because I noticed that Crowdcast is much better at setting up and preparing for the live streams, because I can see, you get reminders to when the live stream is starting. But if you think YouTube is better and you don't like the Crowdcast way, please let me know, because I'm trying to find the perfect way to present all this content. Okay, so let's see. Any Rito says, I have an error establishing a database connection. Is this on your website or is this happening on my website? Rito, is this happening on your website or is this happening on my website, the error establishing database? Hey, Venus IT Solutions, good to see you. You're late though. You know, right, so I can see here Kirk says crowdcast. Yes. In terms of managing the stream, to be honest, Crowdcast seems to be working okay. So it may be that I need to do some upgrades here in the studio. My computer doesn't have a lot of RAM. I think I'm running on 16 megs of RAM. I need to upgrade the RAM to be up for sure because sometimes my computer struggles and then it messes up the live stream itself. So I'll give it a go again because Crowdcast, to be honest, I really like the way you can plan things ahead and add all this information in there. Okay. Andy says thanks for the quality broadcast. Awesome! Thank you very much for that. I'm glad you like the broadcast. Right, let's have a look here. So, any questions? I'm happy to take any web design questions before we end the live stream. Okay, Carmen also says Crowdcast. And by the way, in the last previous live streams, we talked about video. Has anyone made any videos that we should take a look at? Or perhaps what we could do is, if you've made any videos, please send them to me via email so I can do reviews of those videos. How about that? So if you haven't made the video yet, let's please go ahead, try and do those videos based on the first one, which if you don't want to be on camera, you can do a slideshow type video with a voiceover or with music on it, and then send me the link to those videos so I can do some reviews. Monique says no. Right. Rita says the website on website that you've been shown. Okay, so it looks like the website itself has issues. The one I was demoing. All right, thanks for letting me know. Yes, I'm on 16 megs. Is it? Yeah, 16. But that's the RAM though, not the processor. That's the RAM. So that needs to be upgraded to perhaps maybe even 32. Okay. Matisse says, is it possible to have one's website reviewed through any other means? I'm not sure what you mean by that. If you want to add your website for review, there's a link there in the video description. Take a look at the video description. It's macuniversity.com/reviews. Okay? That way, it's easier for me to manage because I get messages left, right, and center. So if you put it all in one place, it's very easy for me to find this. Monique here has a great question. What about the video in the background on header section? What are your thoughts about that? Short video, long video? Definitely short video. If there's anything that you want to add as a video background on the header area, it needs to be very short, perhaps 5-6 seconds. It shouldn't be longer than that. First of all, the idea of having a video in the header area there or hero section of your website is for design purposes. It's not to communicate with that video. That's just a glimpse to what sort of website is about. Let's say if it's a travel video, you could have maybe a time lapse of the place itself, or you can have like 3 or 4 quick videos of the actual place just to give people an idea of what the place is about. So that's what this video is about. That's what the purpose of the video is for. It's not meant to communicate a message per se. That can be done in a proper video. But in the hero image, you don't want to add long videos in there because it's going to make your website slow, and that just needs to act as a design element. Okay. Oh, yes. Anura, you're right. It's 16 gigs. Come on. I want a live stream. If this was a normal video, I would have edited it out. I even forgot I said 16 meg. That's crazy. Yeah, 16 gig. Right. Okay, so what do you say about the videos? If you've made any videos, we could, do a quick review, maybe on part of the show on our next live stream. I think that would be great, and see how these videos work. Because as I mentioned before, videos are really, really important for your communicating your message, and also for creating your videos for your blogs and so on. Okay, right. Any more questions before you continue? Okay, so it looks like we don't have any questions. Okay, so the last thing that I would like to ask from you guys is, please, if you like the live stream, please support me by adding the thumbs up, and also perhaps maybe even sharing it. I would really appreciate that. So if you love the live stream, please give me a thumbs up. We'll be doing more of these. So keep an eye. If you haven't subscribed, or if you haven't taken on the free WordPress course, it's on macuniversity.com. Go ahead, sign up for that free course. This will teach you how to design websites using WordPress. It's absolutely free. And once you sign up, you'll also be on the mailing list. So every time we go live or when there's new tutorials, I'll be sending emails out so you can see those tutorials. Excellent. Now, yeah, so don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Now, the final thing here is I'm just going to give you a link of the last video that I did, just in case you didn't see it. Because for some reason, sometimes my videos, when I release them, not everyone gets notifications. So if you haven't, if you're a subscriber and you haven't hit the bell notification, please go ahead and do so, because if you don't hit the bell notification, you will not see the videos that I release every single time. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go and just bring up my last video here so I can share that with you. It's about sales funnels. Right, so here we go. So that's the video right there. Okay, so go ahead, check out that video. That's the video that I did. That's the most recent video about sales funnels. I do a review of cut flows, so you can check it out there. All right, I'd like to say to everyone that joined me on the live stream, thank you very much for joining me on this live stream. I'll be doing a lot more of these, so keep an eye on these. And as I mentioned, if you haven't subscribed for the free WordPress course, it's on macuniversity.com. That's macuniversity.com. All right, so thank you guys for tuning in. Have a great weekend, and I will see you again next week. Keep an eye on your emails. I'll be sending out notifications and updates via email. Take care, everyone, and have a great week.